How's it going, everybody? Holy crap, weren't we just making another one of these videos like 2 months ago to thank you guys for 500 subscribers? Well, now we're all the way up to 1,000 subscribers. Basically, we've doubled in hardly any time at all from where we were when I made another thank you video. So that's just phenomenal. I've never actually even had a channel get that successful that quickly, or that successful period, and it's all thanks to you guys. So I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to sit down and watch my videos, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying them, because I'm really enjoying making them. You know, part of the reason I collect all this stuff is because I enjoy it and I enjoy preserving history, but the other part is because I enjoy showing it to you guys, and I wouldn't collect this stuff at near the rate that I do if I wasn't showing it off and I wasn't getting the feedback that I love to hear from you guys. So what we're gonna do for this video is we're gonna do yet another game room tour, but we're going to do it in a little bit more detail this time than last time, just so you guys can see where the collection's at right now. Alright, so we'll begin at the hardware shelf, and as you can see, it's still a huge mess, and quite honestly, it's really hard to keep this thing clean when you've got these huge, you know, arcade pads like this, light guns, controllers, rumble packs, VMUs, there's the U-Force. All these things, it's hard to properly display them as I would like to. So there's that, but let's move on from that shelf now. Here we have the Sega Dreamcast part of the shelf here. We've got Confidential Mission, Phantasy Star Online, there's House of the Dead 2, Typing of the Undead, ooh. Over here we've got the PlayStation side of the shelf, Diablo, let me get this focused here, there's Diablo, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, Legend Dragoon, pretty cool stuff going on right now on the PlayStation shelf. Let's move on up to here, which I have actually turned into the handheld shelf. So over here is actually a fully working with sound, which is rare, Sega Game Gear. Here's Chakan the Forever Man with the boxing and manual back here. We have Streets of Rage. Here's Revenge of Drancon, Sonic 2. Over here is the Game Boy section of the shelf. We've got the camera, the printer, the Game Boy itself. Here we have Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. There's Battle Arena Toshinden, I believe it's called. Here's Final Fantasy Legend 3, Great Greed, Metroid 2, Mega Man 3, Super Mario Land, Wario Land, and Tetris. There's my super old Raiden action figure from way back in the day. Let's move on up to the Sega shelf here. So here we have the Sega Genesis games, and I've actually been able to finally start a second row. Some of the more notable ones: Splatterhouse 2, Ristar, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, Haunting starring Poltergeist. Amazing game, by the way, if you haven't played it. Here's the 32X, pretty lacking, but there weren't that many games made for it, especially not good ones. But we've got Virtua Racing, Doom with the boxing and manual back there, and here's Virtua Fighter. I actually don't have Knuckles Chaotix anymore because it stopped working, so that sucks. Now, if you guys have been following my collection updates, you'll see that I've actually been getting a whole lot of Sega CD games in here real recently, and so we're going to talk about those real quick. This is actually Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Eye of the Beholder. Unfortunately, the guy who was selling it didn't tell me he didn't have the backing with it, so I'm going to have to go about getting another one eventually. Here's Dragon's Lair, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Double Switch, Ground Zero Texas. This is Lodestar here. Mansion of Hidden Souls, really interesting game. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Masked Rider, Kamen Rider Zoe, Mortal Kombat, Night Trap, Power Factory, Sonic CD, Stellar Fire, and Wirehead. And then the rest of the shelf is basically just a bunch of the Sega Genesis games boxes. Here's Altered Beast. We got Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Here's Road Rash 3. Back here's NBA Jam Tournament Edition and NBA Jam Regular. And here we have Cool Spot, Batman Forever, Tom and Jerry Frantic Antics, and Six Pack. So that's pretty cool. And now let's move on over to the second shelves here. Down here, this is the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 shelf. As you can see, you got quite a lot of games for the Super Nintendo here. Just some miscellaneous items here. We got the Super Game Boy, the Super Nintendo Game Genie, For N64, we've got Hey You Pikachu Complete, which is pretty hard to find. Back here is the Nintendo 64 Game Boy pack. We've got the N64 collection here with the two best games up front, obviously. There's the N64 Game Shark and the official Nintendo Power Strategy Guide for The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, so that's cool. Up here, this shelf is actually for the Vectrex right here and the Neo Geo games. I don't have that many because they're pretty rare and expensive when you do find them. But we've got Cross Swords, NOM 1975, Ninja Combat, and here's a save card for the Neo Geo here. Moving on up, we come to the Oddities and Rare Items shelf. So here's that stupid ball that came in Happy Meals from Mario, of course. Here we have Dr. Mario in the box, Death Race. There's that Cheetah Man 2 reproduction signed by the publisher. Here's Action 52 for the Sega Genesis. Chiller, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Earthbound, Pest Terminator, and Demon's Crest. Here's the Power Glove in this case here. Got Maxi 15 in the hard shell case. Master Chew in the Drunkard Who, and Castle of Deceit, two pretty rare, uncommon Color Dreams games. Over here we've got Game Genie, the black version actually. The gold version, which is here, as you can see, is the one you're mostly used to. But there's also a black gloss version, which is in the box and also came with the code book, so that's really nice. Here we have an NES cleaning kit in the box, which is hard to find complete, I would imagine. It's just weird to see it. And here's a Funko Land dust sleeve. Haven't seen one of those in forever. Here's Pirate Booty for the NES, which is a reproduction card of every porn game ever made for the NES, the Panesian ones. And here we have Conker's Bad Fur Day, an extremely rare and expensive N64 game. Moving on up to the NES shelf, we have The Simpsons, Bart versus the Space Mutants over here, complete in the box. And then over here we have The Simpsons, Bart versus the World, same situation, complete in the box. We have a manual here for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and a manual over here for the original Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers, not to make the mistake there. Here we have some Topps trading cards, which basically commemorated historical events of gaming, the release of the Atari, Pac-Man, here's Tetris, the NES, and these are some weird scratch-off games for Zaxxon, as well as Donkey Kong. And as you can see, I'm almost completely out of space for the NES collection. I have enough room for one more. Suppose I could have put one of these boxed games up there, but just want to leave them in the box. Have one final slot left up there. Moving on up to the top shelf, this isn't really a video game per se, but it is totally retro. This is Dungeons & Dragons Dragon Quest from 1980, still brand new and sealed in the box. Up here is just a Pac-Man Ghost stuffed plush from a Sega UFO crane catcher game from a barcade I went to. These are my signatures from Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario and friends. We have the Donkey Kong Race, or Diddy Kong Racing promotional VHS tape used by Nintendo, still sealed and brand new. We've got the Telesports Mini TV game Pong console, Texas Instruments TI-99 controller still in the warehouse boxing, and the original TI-99 boxing up here. We've got the Sega Activator in the box. There's the training video for it. This is the SG Program Pad 6, probably one of the most beast controllers you could ever own for the Sega Genesis. Moving on to the console shelf over here, we've got the Neo Geo here in US format, of course. We have the Atari 2600, the PS1, down below that's actually a TurboGrafx 16. Here we have the Sega Genesis with the Sega CD and 32X attachments, original NES, Super Nintendo, the Dreamcast. Here's the Xbox original and the Nintendo 64. And so, we move on over here to the Atari shelf. You can see the Atari shelf has actually grown in huge proportions. Up top is the Halloween and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reproduction cards. Here's Dark Chambers still sealed in the box, Atari 10, and Atari Star Raiders with the pad controller, which I'm sure you've probably seen before. And finally, to wrap it up, let's go over here to where we have the TI-99. So this is where we have the TI-99 set up. Here's the console itself, the speech synthesizer. Over here is the program tape deck with the original packaging for the wiring right here. Here's the collection of games up in the back wall. Got quite a few now. This binder just contains all of the original paperwork, documents, addendums, letters, and etc. for the system. This is just an old wood grain and bronze, or yeah, bronze Zenith television. You gotta have a TV pretty old for this thing. Here's some controllers that I just picked up real recently for the system here. And this is actually a variety bundle of tape software that's still sealed and brand new for the system right here, with some really retro looking artwork on the box there. And up here's where I keep the Xbox original games. Well, that's where the collection's at right now. I really hoped you guys enjoyed looking at it, and I really hope you guys continue to enjoy the videos as much as I'm enjoying making them for you guys. Once again, I really want to extend an honest and sincere thank you for 1,000 subscribers to each and every one of my fans. Every one of you who are out there dedicated and watching, really appreciate it. As you may have noticed, I haven't monetized yet, and maybe I will one day, but quite honestly, I'm not that interested in it. I'm really not doing it to make money. I'm doing it to preserve history, and most people are saying, oh, you're wanting to show off your collection. No, I'm wanting to give you guys a history lesson. So I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying making it. And like I said, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. That is awesome.